The DC-19 Stealth Carbine Blaster was a secretive blaster used by the clone shadow troopers of the Grand Army of the Republic. The weapon was so good at stealth that it was able to fire almost completely silently and was also able to fire invisible blaster bolts. So I'm going to fully break down the DC-19 Stealth Blaster and why it was used by the elite clone shadow troopers. Before we get into it, make sure you force choke the subscribe button down below and change it from red to grey. The DC-19 Stealth Blaster was created by BlasTech Industries, who was the manufacturer of the very widely used DC-15 series blasters. BlasTech Industries created the DC-19 at the request of the Republic in order to provide a more secretive and stealthy weapon for the members of the clone special forces like the clone shadow troopers. The weapon was a medium-sized blaster carbine, which weighed a very standard 5 kilograms and was worth around 3,500 Republic credits. Unfortunately, BlasTech Industries weren't able to add a stun feature to the weapon because the stealth features of the blaster interfered with the electrical systems of the weapon, but it did have many unique features that made it far superior to the DC-15. The first is the sound suppression unit, which allowed the blaster to fire in complete silence, making it incredibly easy for the clone shadow troopers who use them to sneak up and assassinate their targets. The weapon also has an alternate firing mode called stealth fire mode, which uses a refined mixture of Tabana gas, which funnily enough is what Luke Skywalker sprayed on his father, Darth Vader, in The Empire Strikes Back. The Tabana gas was used as a replacement for the normal gas in the blaster and turned the color of the blaster bolts from a vibrant blue to a color invisible to the eyes of most species. This firing mode was not often used by regular clone shadow troopers, however, because the blaster could only fire 10 shots with the invisible bolts, and there was a significant delay between each shot to prevent the blaster's dampeners from overheating. Clone shadow snipers, on the other hand, absolutely loved these invisible bolts because they never fired more than 10 shots anyway, and it was nearly impossible to figure out their location after firing when silent fire mode was turned on. The DC-19 has an optimal firing range of 45 meters and a maximum range of 450 meters, making them ideal for ground stealth operations and mid-range snipers. The weapon was of course primarily used by the elite clone shadow troopers of the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars because they were often sent on missions incredibly deep into separatist territory where they had to remain hidden. In the final days of the Clone Wars, the shadow troopers were called into Utapau to clear a path for Obi-Wan Kenobi before he arrived. Once there, they were also assigned to defend a Republic weapons storage facility on the planet with their DC-19s. After the call for Order 66 was given by Chancellor Palpatine and the Jedi were declared traitors, the shadow troopers were absorbed into the new Imperial Army, being the only Imperial unit to still use the DC-19 blaster. Around 2 years after this, an Imperial Inquisitor took 4 shadow troopers along with their DC-19 blasters on a mission to destroy a covert Jedi Academy which was still operating after the war. Once they arrived, however, they were quickly overpowered by the Jedi inside and had their blasters stolen by the Jedi Resistance there and used against them. After the shocking failure of the shadow troopers and Inquisitor on the mission, the DC-19 blasters were never seen again, probably because Emperor Palpatine decommissioned them after the horrific disappointment. So that is a full breakdown of the incredibly secretive DC-19 Stealth Blaster. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe down below for more incredible Star Wars lore content. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.